You are now listening to a Doc Martin production.
Get those words back in
They say the meek will inherit the earth. We say the nerds are already in control. Welcome to the Frackin' Nerds, episode number 266. Holding on dearly to see if the audio was working, because I decided to clean my board and move some stuff around, and now nothing wants to be working. So joining me on the show today is all the way from the East Coast. It's
me, Joshua, and I finally got Ultron.
How much did that cost you?
Cumulatively, just to try to get him, about like $450, $500.
What, $5?
Yeah, no, fucking souls. Yeah.
That's a lot of money for a.
Well, I don't pay rent. And fuck it. And don't ask me how much I spent on a total cumulative on that game.
It just seems like a lot of money for a digital figure.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Who cares?
Okay.
You buy Funko Pop. Leave me alone.
I know, but I can maybe sell those. You can't sell your figure, your digital.
Actually, no. Actually, people sell their accounts for the game.
He can sell his account. I did mine.
How much do you think your account's worth?
Right now, I could probably sell it for like
$500.
Ultron.
So your account's only
But
worth
then what
Ultron.
about all those Mr. Sinisters?
Oh yeah, Mr. Sinisters.
You see, I don't know, because people don't use them as much as they should in the game. I haven't encountered a lot of Mr. Sinisters, but I'll be damned if I say he was helpful with me getting Ultron, because it took me a total of, I want to say, 5 days to max out Ultron. So I had to beat the trial one time, and I got him at 5 stars, and then I had to beat another trial one more, and I got him at 7 stars altogether. So it took me 5 days, and fucking Sinister played a part in that. And yeah, so.
Well, also joining us from, as you hear his voice, Chris Class from Indiana.
Hey,
Class.
thank you for having me again.
And then also sitting from over there in Indiana, and you have to be forewarn him if you see anything that may have a dead baby in it. You have to warn him.
Yeah,
otherwise
you have to tell
otherwise you get yelled at on the message board. That's Mr. Kennedy. Yeah, I get yelled
Listen,
at because I
motherfucker.
told him to watch The Watchmen, and he's like,
First
"There's
off-
dead babies in this first movie or show episode."
First off, I'm cool with watching dead babies. This is good to have a warning because I have a fiance who flips shit over dead babies.
Now, do you pre-warn her if you know this? Like, there may be a dead
No,
baby.
we don't watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't watch it.
All right.
That's why I won't share The Witcher with her.
But The Witcher's an okay show.
Did you toss
It
a
is.
coin to him?
But there's totally a dead baby in that episode. And man, that was rough.
Well, if it would have been a boy baby, it wouldn't have been dead, as we all found out.
What?
If it was a male baby, they wouldn't have killed it.
Oh, well, okay. I see what you're saying. But
Correct.
none of that would have happened if it was a male baby.
That's right, because that's what he was looking for. He wanted to heir, and since that woman could not produce him an heir, he murdered them both with the kind of wizard, warlock, whatever thing. Yeah.
Really? It was the king that did that?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was the king.
Oh, shit.
That's where I think Yennefer was just like, I'm tired of dealing with these fucking kings and their so-called problems.
That was literally her rant to the dead baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
Good job. You're just waiting for more titties.
He was waiting for more naked Yennefer.
Well, on today's show, news from CES. A former Batman is rumored to meet Thor, and a beloved movie featuring Warwick Davis might be coming to Disney+. Let's set up first thing. If we're not talking about autonomous cars, we're talking about that fake meat that's running around this world. And right now, they're apparently working on a possible faux pork that you could be getting on your food. Have you guys tried any of the fake stuff yet?
Nah, I was with people that tried it, and they said it was really good, so I was like, yeah,
Tried the
I'll
Impossible.
just stick to my real meat.
Have you tried? Did you say you tried it, Kennedy?
Yeah, the Impossible Burger.
Okay. I was wondering if we need to do that for Concave and get 2 regular Whoppers and 2 Impossible Whoppers and See if we can tell the difference.
You know what?
I'm down for that.
Difference. You will be able to tell a difference on that because the Impossible Whopper it tastes, I swear, dead up like a Whopper, except it's not as greasy.
Ooh.
So that's the only difference. So it's
I
like
thought the texture was off.
it may be off a bit, but
I never had a
flavor
greasy
wise,
Whopper though.
it's dude. I've had them to where it's. I mean, not to the point where it's like dripping, but I think I've mentioned that
here
before.
in Indiana. I think it's an Indiana thing.
What is it?
I think he needs to have a Whopper from Indiana. Because our restaurants grease up everything.
Yeah, I'll bring you an ungreasy Impossible Whopper, Joshua. It's dude. I've mentioned it before how like I've cut out a lot of red meat and like dairy, and so like I've gone for the Impossible Whopper. And it's actually kind of like it's kind of my go-to. I don't eat at Burger King like often, but if like I want a burger, I'll go. That'll be like my go-to, and it's good. It's good. I dig it. Have
you done
never
the
had
one?
one?
White Castle yet?
Yeah, it tastes like shit. It's awful. It's awful. Like, I don't know if White Castles are even like legit like beef. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll just do that. But like that fake burger, White Castle, whatever that is, the veggie burger.
Yeah.
Dude, it has like big chunks of like green. I don't even know what the fuck it is. It's awful. It's not good, dude. Not good. So, have you had it?
Me? Yeah.
Anyway.
It's gross. Yeah.
It is gross. But the Impossible Whopper is cool, man. Like I'm down with that.
The Impossible
I'll
Pork.
try it at Concave.
Yeah, I think we need to get some. The
Who
Impossible.
was
What's
the
up?
one that was making the meat carrot?
What? That's what I call my junk.
Who
the
was
meat
that?
carrot.
Arby's. It was
It's
Arby's.
true. It's true.
Arby's.
Arby's was
did
doing it.
A meat carrot.
Yep. Apparently, the Impossible Pork is only used like a ground pork. It's not it's not utilized as sausage or toppings. More of like what you would put into dumplings. But there is the Impossible Sausage that Burger King is going to be launching with their breakfast croissants. Right
Does
now,
that have anything to do with BBC?
right now, you've only locations are Savannah, Georgia, Lansing, Michigan, Springfield, Illinois, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Montgomery, Alabama, where you could pick up the Impossible Sausage. They say it's better for the environment because the amount of pigs and cows causing methane, and I guess what it utilized to make the animals and whatever.
I don't know. I would try it.
Little Caesars actually was the first one to roll out the Impossible Sausage on some of their pizzas. They're about to start delivering again. I don't know if they ever delivered.
Boy.
So Little Caesars, you're going to get that delivered.
How much do you charge to deliver cardboard to somebody?
It's not that bad. Do you hate Little Caesars?
What? Okay, explain to me, Kennedy, why you feel it tastes like cardboard. Because you're like the third person to say that to me.
It's stiff, but at the same time very airy,
No?
and it's just it has no flavor to it. It's just bland as hell.
That's why you get that
And-
cheese dipping sauce.
It's like, I know there's cheese on this pizza.
Get the cheese
But-
dipping sauce and just dip it in.
You shouldn't
You know
have to
what?
add anything to pizza for it to be good.
Little Caesars has great. I'm huge on chicken wings, and Little Caesars
They have
has
chicken
great
wings?
chicken wings. But their pizza, yeah, man, it tastes like a fucking like shit. I'm not big on it. I mean, you could feed a lot of people very cheap if you go that route and buy like a bunch of pizzas and all. Like, I won't turn down a Little Caesars pizza. Like,
But the thing is, it's like, okay, so if you're feeding a lot of people, you can either go there and get everything for $5 a piece, or for literally $1 more per pizza, you can just go to Papa John's or Domino's and
you
get.
can't do the Domino's.
Yeah,
option.
but you have to walk in. You can't get it delivered.
Yeah, and you're going to have to pre-order that. You can't just show up.
Yeah.
Like, if you need to get a bunch of pizzas rapidly, I think
Yeah.
Little Caesars...
You can get it delivered.
Yeah, but you're paying more. You have to pay a delivery
Yeah.
fee. You have to.
Oh,
pay
you think Little Caesars is not going to have a delivery fee?
Obviously they're not, but I live down the block from a Little Caesar, so I could walk my ass down there and get it and save me a ton of money. So
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Little Caesars. See, Doc
I
is
wonder,
already
hold on. I wonder
hang
if
out
like
with me so
I wonder if
much
like
that
New
he's
York
like a
Little
New
Caesars
Yorker.
tastes better than Indiana.
No,
Little
it's
Caesars.
going to be the
I
same
doubt
fucking
it.
ingredients
It's the same
and
fucking
everything.
thing. I had Little Caesars in Florida, and it tastes the same.
It's because they have a New York accent. Like, oh, it's going to taste better. Hey, Mario's here. So he's making a pizza.
What the fuck was that?
I'm working on the New York. It's not a part of New York you live in. It's an Upper East Side, West
No,
Side
it's a
New York.
fictional fucking part of like, you're the assholes that think all New Yorkers are alike.
Well, y'all think everybody watched Channel 5, so...
Sorry, that's my fault because I thought that.
Oh, you mean Channel 5?
I made the same mistake in Albany. Fuck you.
Hey, you look
I'll
at...
eat a Little Caesars pizza. Like, don't get me wrong. But, like, given the choice, I don't want to say it tastes like total shit. But, like, given the choice of, like, a Papa John's or, like, a Domino's.
Are you guys
or, like,
really comparing these
anything.
pizzas like, oh, you know, I look down on Little Caesars? No, if you're eating shitty pizza, it's still shitty pizza.
Class, Did he
Yeah.
tell you that last time Joshua was here, I took him to Spinelli's?
Okay. No, what'd you think? Did you like Spinelli's?
It's all right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like the Sicilian place I take them to.
Oh, where's that?
Crack.
Well, there's one right next to the Palace and one down the street from where I live. Out on
What
Bartown
made me
Road.
laugh was that Kennedy couldn't. He was just amazed that I ate all the food. And I'm like, what? This is not a lot of food.
Dude, he ate like
Dude.
3 slices or something like that. Like,
And garlic knots.
I'll tell you the best pizza in like if anyone listening is in like southern Indiana or like the Louisville area, Impellazzeri's is my personal favorite like pizza joint in this area. And I don't either one of you guys had it, Kennedy or Doc?
I have,
I've had
yeah.
it, but it's not.
Fucking.
I think it's too.
Oh,
it's too thick.
I don't think that it's comparative to the price. It's good, but paying fucking $45 for a pizza pisses me off.
Wow, what kind of pizza did you get?
The Meat Lovers one.
Damn, $45?
Yeah, it was like 45 with.
What size was
I want
it?
to say it was the pizza and maybe a 2-liter or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds.
Jesus.
Yeah, 2 liters about that
What's
expensive.
the pizzeria that Matt orders from? It's like Berno's or some shit like that.
You're not-
horrible.
Berno's?
Knows.
Yeah, I remember I had to pay for all the, I offered to pay all the food, and fucking one of our friends was like, I'll take a Meat Lover's pizza pie. That shit alone was like fucking almost $32.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
No,
like,
I know
want
Boombots. Boombots. Is that what you're talking about? 'Cause
Yeah,
Boombots is
Boombots.
pricey
Boombots
as fuck.
is-
Oh,
Boombots.
Bear Nose is pricey as fuck. I take that
Yeah.
back. But Bear Nose has a buffet that you go and it's like, I don't know, a lunch buffet. They have like all their pizzas laid out, and it's like you get pizzas and a drink for like, I don't know, fucking under $10, I'd say.
Ooh.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's really good. Have you ever
I've
been to
to
one
a
of those?
pizza place buffet. I gotta try that one.
You know what? Next time you're in town, there's one over in New Albany over on our side.
It's gonna take you to
I'll
CC's.
take you over
Let's
there.
take you to
That's what I was going to
CC's.
say. We need to take him to Pizza King next time he's here.
No,
Pizza King
he's
is
talking
the
about
truth.
CC's though.
I'm
Yes.
literally there for like a whole week in February, so
Dude, you're going to get so fat.
I don't care.
You're
Better.
gonna go to the Pizza King with the.
My favorite pizza place right now is actually over in Louisville. It's called Danny Mac's in the Millwood Art Center.
Oh, really? I haven't been there.
You've got to
Back
stop.
in Nerds Pizza Edition episode.
Dude, we're
Louisville,
nerds
though.
and we're mostly in the Louisville area. I mean, people listen from Louisville, so just saying.
That's right.
Finally, and well, actually, not finally. We got a couple more stories here. Apparently, if you needing some security at your house instead of cameras, you can get a drone that will sit at your house, and as soon as the activity occurs, it will fly out and check out to see what's going on.
So what, it could get shot down?
It's called the Sunflower, and it has its own little housing unit.
I mean, this isn't going to work for anybody who lives in town.
Someone's gonna steal it. What's gonna happen?
It only costs you about $10,000, and it's going to be coming out in mid 2020.
Only 10
If it
grand.
looked like the owl from like Clash of the Titans, I'd be totally into that thing. But
It's not.
if not,
Didn't that thing always break though? Like it was a piece of shit.
that stupid owl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that just sounds dumb. Like just use Ring.
Nope. You can
No, because
have a
Ring
little-
can get hacked, and they'll tell your kids to like do
Yeah.
fucked up things.
What is that? What they're saying it does?
Break your room or break your room or whatever. Yeah.
You didn't hear about this?
No.
So basically, people were hacking into the system of rings, and they would like tell like little boys and girls to like do fucked up shit. So like, there's video of it.
So,
like, the girl's
like kids
"Whose
would
voice
be-
is that?"
kids would
and
be
the guy's like,
walking
"It's
by?
Santa Claus."
Oh, so they would be walking by and be like, "Hey."
And I was laughing hysterically.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking dark. And you're like, it's Santa Claus. Go ahead and fuck your room up. It's okay. Mommy and Daddy won't care. That's basically what happened.
That's probably when you leave a easy password on there on your Wi-Fi to hack
Yeah,
into.
and that's what
they
happened.
said. But
That's-
my thing is though, like, how the fuck is that even like? What's your security? Like, what? Can someone explain to me how the fuck they decipher passwords? What, they just fucking get a program that just goes through like 1,000,001 passwords?
A lot of times what it is they if they hack to see if it's an open account, and if you get it, you can then lay in a program that when they create a password, it'll always send you the password of what has been changed for the Wi-Fi. But then they could just use just send it and keep sending a password till it cracks it. Because I think people don't really think about their password and how long it needs to be, and
Right.
yeah.
Well, then if people are hacking like Ring and all that shit, then they'll hack a fucking drone Ring or whatever that shit is. So
We actually, so there is this system. I'll have to look into one of my courses. I was actually trying to look it up here while we were talking. In my informatics class I just finished up, we had a week where they were talking about hacking and ethical hacking and stuff like that. And drones, like flying around drones, are actually super easy to hack into. All it takes is for you to be able to hit the frequency that they're on. And it was really messed up. Like, they were showing that this guy was just flying his drone around, and another guy was on his laptop, and he went boom, boom, and like he had complete control of the drone and could do whatever he wanted with it. And the thing is these people were talking about the program that they invented to actually stop that. And it was actually kind of neat. They showed the guy trying to hack into the new, hack into the drone with the new program going on, and it didn't work. So if that comes out with this drone that you're talking about, then maybe we wouldn't have to worry about that. I mean, it was really neat. Like you could watch him try to do it, and no matter what he did, he couldn't get into the drone.
Good. Well, the official U.S. government website that shows your free trade partner apparently had Wakanda when it went up and went live. So at one point, you could go on the U.S. Department of Agriculture and check out what the tariff charge would be for things like milk or dog food in the country of Wakanda. Till somebody realized that you're not supposed to, it's not a real place, and removed it from one of the listings.
I wonder how much vibranium was.
It's gotta be expensive. I mean, it's really hard to find that in a lot of other places.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Well, in movie news, Ryan Reynolds came out and has confirmed that they are green-lit Deadpool 3, and it's going to be R-rated. He broke this news around December 24th at Live with Kelly, that Deadpool 3 is moving along, and hopefully within the next couple of years, we will actually get a Deadpool 3 under Disney.
The next couple of years?
Well, I would
you think it's going to be more than 2 years?
They haven't started shooting anything, so it's at least got to be. They wouldn't start probably principal photography till the end of this year. So yeah, I'd figure we're at least 2 years away.
You think they're going to address all the stuff?
Yeah, they're going to do it like Star Wars and just rush it really quick and just throw a bunch of shit at the wall and then hope one of it sticks.
But,
I think you said you like
so.
Star Wars.
Did I? When did I say I like
thought
Star
you-
Wars? No,
I thought you said you liked it.
no. There's problems with Star Wars. There's major problems with Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
the
But you
mo-
like the Joker.
I did like
Weird.
the Joker, and I
There were problems with Star Wars, but I did enjoy it. But when you come from, following up Last Jedi, like, it really couldn't get any worse. So, Last Jedi was the Little Caesars of fucking Star Wars movies. Like, no, it was
Bullshit.
worse than that. It was worse
I liked
than
it.
that.
I
It
like
was the
Little
fucking
Caesars.
It was the fucking Totino's pizza of.
hey, Totino's pizzas work.
It was not good. at all. Like, no matter how.
See, that was the
fucking
funny
I
thing
hate it.
is Sunday we watched The Force Awakening because Stacey had not seen any of the last 3 movies. So I was like,
Yes.
okay, I watched it. And I enjoyed rewatching it. I was like, one thing people complain about, like, it's all the same thing. You know what? That's what I liked. I enjoy all the same thing. And
Sure.
the one thing I started to notice is that the movies that did really well or really good all had 3 major locations in all the movies. And it allowed them to breathe, allowed them to create this universe. In this new movie, they're jumping all over the place. And you couldn't really get a good feel of any of the places they've been.
It was very fast paced. It really was. I mean, especially for like a Star Wars movie that, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and it's like it's usually much slower, and each place is well defined, from like a Mustafar to a Tatooine
Yes.
to like a fucking Endor. Like, they each are very specific. And yeah, I agree. It was they were jumping around quite a bit.
I mean, because
And there were a
you
few
start
things that,
off
like,
and Kylo Ren's at some random planet. Was he, was that the place where Vader was created?
the very first planet was Mustafar,
Okay.
and those guys he were killing were like Vader worshippers.
Okay.
Where he went and got that first holocron. I only know this because there was like there's this book that came out that and I watched this video about it on YouTube that it was it gave like broke down like 39 facts that you didn't know that helped make that movie make a little more sense, which it really is a little, it's kind of needed. But yeah, that was Mustafar.
And then you go from there,
he actually burned in lava.
and then
whatever.
then they go to that ice planet, and then they're bouncing around to like 8 different fucking planets when they're light skipping. And then they go to the planet where the rebels are hiding out. Then they go to the third version of Tatooine that they could find with this weird fucking. I swear to God, I was looking for Neo dancing in the with all the Hindu people going on and stuff like that. And then they go to that other planet with the and it's just like it's too many damn planets that you're all bouncing back and forth with.
It was a lot of jumping around. They went to that one night planet, or
that's
it
what I'm talking
was
about,
that night where,
Yeah.
What's his name? Not Finn, Poe's,
Poe.
I guess, side piece
Yes.
used to be at, or it was a lot of jumping around. I'll give you that. But all in all, like, I thought the movie was like, it was, they did a lot to just say, like, you know what, fuck Last Jedi. Like, the whole thing where he, like, Rey threw the fucking lightsaber, back at where Luke was.
Yeah, that made no sense at all.
He caught it, and it was like, that's not how you treat. Like, so I guess Force Ghost can just fucking grab shit now. But
well, apparently, if
I mean,
you have no real knowledge, you can just also fade as a Jedi, like at Kylo Ren. Spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, but that was like, there's a lot of shit that he shouldn't know. Like, he wouldn't have been trained on, like Force healing, and then also like he gets to fade away like he's a fucking Jedi. It's like, fuck you, you're Kylo fucking whiny Ren.
Wait, doesn't that mean he got the Force? Like he was one with the Force?
He would have known how to turn himself into the Force. And then why?
Well, wait, I read the fucking plot. Didn't he give his life essence to save?
Yes. Which again,
So
weren't they creating Rey to be a strong female, and then it had to be a man who saved her at the end? My soapbox.
I have not watched this movie yet, so you guys are killing me right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You should have been like Patrick.
I'll say this.
Should have been like
You know what,
Patrick
when
and
Force
downloaded.
Awakens. I'm sorry. When Force Awakens started, like Kylo Ren was like such a legit like badass, and he became like he was that badass again in this movie, for the most part. And I don't want to say too much because I'm sorry, Kennedy. I didn't realize you hadn't seen it, but.
You're
Yeah,
not missing much.
He was. I personally like Kylo Ren in this movie.
I did not. I still don't. I thought he's the worst bad guy in that whole entire whatever. I mean,
he left his shirt on, so like.
I
come
give
on.
him that. Like, he did
You
leave his
know.
shirt on, so he didn't have these
I
weird.
was
Like,
seeing like.
I'm kind of weirded out by Kennedy not seeing it already. Like,
know.
I thought maybe he would have sort of. I mean, I didn't see it because nobody was like, "Josh, you want to go see the Star Wars movie?" So I'm kind of shocked he didn't go see it.
I mean, I went just by
I had the money
myself
to do
one
it,
day.
so.
Oh.
Are you a Star Wars fan, Kennedy?
Oh yeah, I've seen every single one, every movie, every side out there. All
Oh shit, we really fucking ruined it for him.
Yeah, no, man, I had no idea. I'm like, all right, we're 2 weeks past, so like,
Somebody already
surely we
ruined
can
it.
say spoilers. So
yeah, somebody already ruined it for me and
I'll
told
do
me
that.
that Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter. or
That
something like
that bullshit. Oh my god. I was like,
Okay.
Jesus, fuck that.
You know what? If they would have announced that early on, and like Rey would have been doing just some crazy shit at it, like the way she fucking. I'm sorry, Kennedy. Fuck, man.
Just do it.
She fucking shoots out some lightning at a certain point. I'm not gonna say exactly when, but like she does, and it's just like she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
Like,
she
it was
shoots
just
out the
crazy.
lightning. We think Glenn's dead. Then we find out he hid underneath the garbage can, and then he was alive.
But,
so
like,
is the
if-
Oscar the Grouch of Star Wars?
No,
If it would have,
this Walking
I
Dead
don't know.
fake out death.
This whole time, if she would have, like, if we would have known, but she didn't know, like, I'm not opposed to that. Like, the weirdest thing about the whole thing is that Palpatine fucked at some point, and that's just weird. Like, you know, I don't know. That's just it's
It
strange.
could be that, or I mean, Palpatine has many clones, but the thing is any Jedi can actually use lightning.
I mean, I guess
They're no longer
But it was
technically Jedi at that point.
it seems more like a Sith thing.
Yeah, it is.
The lightning
because you
thing.
have to embrace the dark side to be able to use the lightning.
And why didn't she
That's
take her name back and make Palpatine like a good name? She could have
Well-
changed the way that, like Jonathan Hitler could have changed things, but
I don't think. I don't care what your name
You don't
was,
think
Hitler,
Hitler could-
if that's
I feel like Palpatine, you could maybe rework that and make it a positive name, like
yeah,
stands for good
well,
things.
And yeah, they were pushing that whole last name thing quite a bit. And it's like, all right, really? Like, no one's ever given a fuck about a last name.
Do you
before.
know who we should blame? You don't blame Ryan Johnson. You blame JJ for stepping back and going, I'll let somebody else direct this. No, you should have brought the ideas, and just like you did with Lost, you just gave up and stopped working on it, so it became a fucking mess. Just took the whole thing and ran with it for 3 fucking movies. Like, what was...
It doesn't seem like it was, like, well thought out. From, like, it was like, if you go back and all right, people shit on the prequels.
Oh, they're bad.
And like, you know, the prequels at least had a common theme. Like, you know where you're starting and you know what the end is going to be. You know, like, Vader, like, this kid is going to turn into Vader at some point. We don't know how.
Yeah.
We don't know why, but it's going to happen. And then you look at the original one, the first, 4, 5, and 6 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you have young Luke, and it's a common theme throughout the whole thing. He finds out that Vader's his father. Spoiler alert, sorry. And fucking, like, it's like there's a common theme. And on this one, it's just there's no, like, it seems like 3 separate movies that they're like, let's just kind of try to paste it together somehow with, like, Elmer's glue. And
Didn't you also feel like... even in the prequels, there was like 3 main characters, and they were actually friends trying to stop things.
Right.
In this one,
Right.
it just felt like it was 3 people that were just kind of hanging out, going some places sometimes.
Right. It's and then the second one, like Finn, I liked Finn. I think he has a lot to offer, and I think that they didn't like even tap half of his potential. And I think he did a great job of acting. John Boyega did. But
Did you see him blasting
that
Twitter in the
second one was
movie?
such a fucking throwaway.
Did you see him blasting on Twitter the movie?
He blasted
no.
the movie.
Oh
on Twitter?
yeah, like I guess he's done with Disney and Star Wars, and he was just like, "How'd that Ray Ren ship go?" Fans out there, doesn't look like real romance to me.
Wow.
So he wanted to be gay.
No. He's talking about the Kylo Ren and Rey. He was just like it was a forced romance. It didn't really feel like it worked. He said
Yeah,
it was-
because we kind of like in the first one, we kind of like thought him and the girl, whatever the fuck her name is, Daisy Scott, whatever the fuck it is, Daisy Ridley or whatever.
Rey.
Yeah.
We thought they were gonna be an item, and then the Asian girl and him were gonna be an item, and
No, God.
Dude, and that chick was just a fucking psychopath, man. I was talking. Well, I just watched that Last Jedi the other day.
Yeah.
Someone had never seen it before. And like,
And you were like, "I'm gonna
I was
torture
like-
you."
tell me she's not a fucking psychopath. Like,
She's a fanboy.
just-
She's a psycho fanboy.
dude, and like she met Finn like a day or two before, and then she like tells him she loves him, and like it's like you just met this bitch. Like, I'd be like,
Now, class,
Look, oh,
you're
yes.
not allowed to make fun of her. You're not allowed to make fun of that character. That's a person of color character, and we need to celebrate those people and shine a light on them and celebrate for what they are. And
you know what? As an actress, she did fine. As
For what
the
she had?
actress and script she had to go off of was complete dog shit. So I'm not shitting on her. Her sister was shown for like 5 minutes in that movie and was way more like I had way more of an emotional connection to her than Rose Tico at all. So that's
I had more of an emotional connection to that fake gravity they were showing with bombers in space. Because how does that fucking work? Hey, we're in space, we're dropping bombs, and somehow they fall to the ground. Don't think that fucking works. But you know what? You know what the bad part is?
That's a good one.
Is
buddy.
Ryan Johnson's and Knives Out is a really, really good movie, and Last Jedi is a really, really shitty movie.
Last Jedi is bad. Last Jedi
Well,
is very bad.
look at the difference here. He made one movie that was original. It's his idea, right? An original idea.
What, Looper or Knives Out?
Yeah, Knives Out.
Okay.
Looper's his original idea too, right? Or is it
I
based
think-
on a comic book?
No, I think that's original idea.
Okay, so you think about it. He directed, Knives Out. It was original idea, but then, I'm sorry. So he's directing a movie for a studio that's gonna have a lot of
yeah.
fucking input.
And he maybe just
Right?
didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah, and he was just like,
So
dude,
he-
what do you like? And then at one point, you make the movie, and while you're making the movie, they're fucking saying, well, we're gonna get these two other assholes to do an entirely new fucking thing while you're making this fucking
Oh, yeah.
story. And you just at a certain point, people are just gonna be like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, he's not the first person to have a bad experience with Disney.
No.
And Marvel.
Well, Edgar
Or rather
Wright.
Disney.
Edgar Wright was going to do Ant-Man. That probably would have been way better Ant-Man than what we have. I figure I always keep Ant-Man like at the bottom of the list of Marvel movies that are enjoyable. Like, it's okay. I love Paul Rudd, but I don't really give a fuck about Ant-Man. And I figure Edgar Wright would have done an incredible job of it. I mean, tell me a
Well,
bad
that's the
Edgar
thing,
Wright
like,
movie.
What we still would have had a comedic Ant-Man. That's what I'm trying. Like, there's no, right? Like,
Well, that's
can
what
you agree to that?
like Michael Pena's part where he's like going over and explaining the story of how everything went and everything else. That felt very Edgar Wright, and that's what people are like. Oh, I love that part. Well, that's what he would have got more of. But no, Disney had to be like, no, we don't want you fucking with our stuff. We need Ultron because
we want you to do
because
this.
Joshua
and
wants
then
to buy
you gotta
Ultron
do
for
that.
500, so we need to build him up. He can't be Hank Pym.
Well, they wanted Tony Stark to be his creator. What
I
do you
know.
want me to tell
I
you?
know.
Did he have plans for like Ultron being the bad guy and Ant-Man?
No, he wanted. I think he wanted to kind of lay the groundwork that it was Hank Pym, just like in the comics, created Ultron.
See, but I agree with that. I was telling people, it was like, once they hit the Age of Ultron, I was like they didn't even build up to Ultron, and I'm like, he's kind of like one of the biggest bads in the Marvel comic book universe. Why aren't they building up to him, and why did they make Tony Stark his creator? Like, I don't, and it just, they wanted to connect everything, and they could have did it by using Hank Pym.
Yes.
But they were like, let's just take out that him making Ultron and just make him the Pym particle guy.
They
Make
made
it old.
Tony Stark have everything to do with with Ultron.
Yep.
Because he's so fucking expensive, as you explained earlier. He's the only one that could have afforded to pay for him.
$500. Moving on. Apparently the
Okay, shit, nigga, I got Ultron. I don't give a fuck. I'm happy. I'm literally, when I got him, I screamed. I was like, yes, finally.
The fact that makes you happy makes me happy. I love.
Does he sit there and play?
Those huevos.
Does he play Strike Force when he's doing the podcast when he's live at your place too? Class.
I'm sorry.
Well, the one thing we noticed when he was at Concave is even when we were in the middle of playing games or doing podcasts, he's always playing the Strike Force game. Does he do that when he's like doing back row hecklers when y'all are doing a live show?
No, not that I know of. Because
we see
usually
the-
he's
look at
in
me.
town.
We see the respect now.
He might be. When he's in town, we're usually playing games, so it's like, you got to kind of pay a little bit of attention for like 2 hours.
He
or
loves
whatever,
those
so.
games, right? You like doing the games, don't you?
I hate doing the fucking games.
I work hard on these games, and he just shits on them. But it's fair. The way I make fun of his habit. He's chasing the Marvel
dragon,
digital dragon.
Yeah, the white dragon there, the white Ultron dragon.
Oh, you know what? That was a good one, class. I like that one.
Well, with the new Batman, Matt Reeves has confirmed that Colin Farrell is going to be casting as the Penguin. There was already
They
speculation
released a
coming.
picture of him.
The what?
They released a picture of him on set. He was dressed as the Penguin.
Yeah.
Actually, he didn't even look like the Penguin. He looked like
He looked like Alfred walking around or something. Like he looked like a
He
guy
looked
just hanging out because it's raining.
He looked like the dude that if I'm not mistaken, he replaces the Penguin. He called himself the Emperor Penguin.
Ooh.
He was dressed more like him.
I don't know.
You know who that is, right?
No, I don't.
Okay, so like at one point during like Batman, had like I guess
whose run was
I want to
this?
say Scott Snyder wrote him.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but like they fucking like beat up the Penguin and shoot him, and then the guy who was like his right hand man takes the spot over, and he's like, I will be known as the Emperor Penguin now.
Oh.
Like, and I'm like, the Penguin's like this deformed fat guy. He looks nothing like the Penguin, so I'm thinking maybe he's the Emperor Penguin.
It doesn't sound like something Scott Snyder would do.
I'll get the information on this.
Look that up and figure that out.
You know what? That does sound familiar. Was that Rebirth or New 52?
I want to say New 52.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was like I'm looking through I'm actually looking through my comics right now. Through my Batman run. Because Snyder and Capullo did all that New 52 stuff, and I don't think Snyder. I can't remember if he did. I don't think he did a lot of. You know what? It was in. It was King. What's his name? Wasn't it King who wrote that, not Snyder?
I mean, I don't know, man. I just remember flipping through the book, and I remember that I was like, oh, this guy like shot the Penguin with a shotgun or something, and he's like, I'm the new guy. I'm the Emperor Penguin. And the way Colin Farrell's dressed looks like Emperor Penguin.
So he's not like all fat and shit.
No, he's not fat at all. He doesn't look deformed or anything like that. Like the
Okay.
Penguin.
Well, on Gotham, they do it different, too.
That's interesting. I think that was Rebirth, but I could be wrong. But that does sound familiar.
I'll look it up right now while we're talking.
I'm looking at
And I played Marvel Strike Force.
He appeared in Detective Comics Volume 2 in 2012.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think Snyder wasn't on that at that point. Let's see if they've got who
No.
created him. I don't have anything on
Not
him.
in Detective, he wouldn't have. Because Snyder ended up doing a lot of the Rebirth stuff, and then he's done a lot of offshoots from there. But I don't think he may have written some Detective here and there. But I was thinking that was what's his name, Tim King.
Tim King sounds right.
Yeah,
No, it was created by John
Layman.
Layman. John Layman.
Okay.
That sounds like something John Layman would create.
But do you see how he looks? Doesn't he look similar to like what Colin Farrell was wearing on the set?
Let me see. Yeah. This does look like a normal skinny guy.
Yeah, see? So, I mean,
Speaking
Visuals on a podcast.
skinny guy, Christian Bale apparently has reports and talks to join Thor: The Love and Thunder. I put out a tweet out there that blew up like wildfire. That was even on part of a twit moment, which I had no clue what that meant. Just meant that more people were liking and retweeting it. And so I had a discussion like, what part could he be playing? And some were debating Beta Ray Bill, which Joshua felt like he needs to be in costume, and I think that would look really fucking weird as a costume for Beta Ray Bill. I think it should be CG. And then somebody suggested the Minotaur. What was it? David Arrero is the character's name? Who was actually a big part of the Jane Foster and Thor stories, where she becomes Thor. And I was like, well, and if you look up what that character looks like, not in the Minotaur look, but in the corporate greed guy, it looks like what Christian Bale would look like. So, could be any way.
Yeah, I think if they did a Beta Ray Bill, like it would have to be CG'd, and
Thank you.
if he did a voice for it, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I would like to see. I do like Beta Ray Bill, so I think that would be that'd be pretty dope. I'd be into that.
And you could spin him off, because I would assume Thor's going to be slowly stepping away, right?
Yeah, isn't that why they're going with Jane Thor or Girl Thor or whatever?
Do you think
kind of
Jane Foster's going to die with cancer at the end of this movie? Spoilers, Kennedy, if you haven't read any of that.
Yeah. You think they'll end it right there?
Well, she doesn't really want to be in these movies.
Yeah. Okay.
Wouldn't that make sense? That at the end she dies of cancer and she sacrificed her life, and
yeah, I could see that.
And then Natalie Portman doesn't have to do it anymore because it killed off her character. Like Han Solo killing off because Harrison Ford didn't want to do these, and then somehow they paid him. Never mind. Moving on. Kevin Smith. I seriously caught myself on that. I wasn't trying to allude to anything. Kevin Smith is working on Mallrats 2, called Twilight of the Mallrats. I know he was at one point calling it Mallbrats, and I worry that it was more to follow his daughter around and put her in shit that nobody wants to see. Love your movies, Kevin Smith. And but no, I guess it's going to go back to Brody again with Jason Lee's character. And even Bruce Campbell wanted to be in it, and they're thinking of possibly him putting in that role where Stan Lee would have been as an icon, like a movie icon, where Stan Lee was the comic icon that Brody loved it too.
I saw the Twitter interaction between the two.
Yep.
Him saying he had the perfect role for Bruce Campbell. So I would be all for it. I'm a big fan of Kevin Smith movies.
Has anybody seen the new Jay and Silent Bob movie?
I gotta watch that. Is that did it come out on digital download yet or no?
I know there's places that it just came up, so
that's what I'm trying to say. Is it available in the dark web?
If you look, you may find video on demand quality out there.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Because I have a 3-day weekend and I'm gonna watch that.
Because I think it's getting released at the end of the month. I would have gone and seen it, but they sent it to the only theater that kicks out white women with their devil shirts on. So.
Oh God! Here we go again.
No,
Did you want to go with the woman that had the devil shirt on?
I would have. I was trying to show support and say I'm never going there again.
Yeah, she doesn't need to know.
No. I almost went to go see Star Wars over there because all the other theaters around here were booked up. I mean, it was crazy for the first 2 weeks. Good luck trying to get a couple chairs together.
Oh, bro, you should have went with me. It came out on Thursday, and I went Saturday. Dude, if you ever want to watch a movie, come to Indiana, come to Clarksville. Okay. And I watched it Clarksville. I bought my ticket ahead of time, like 3-4 days ahead of time. And yes.
Do not tell me you're going to that shit ass theater.
Yes.
Well, I did, but it was because I wanted to see it. I wasn't worried about I didn't need the big. It wasn't the ideal experience you would want for Star Wars, but it was, it was all right. It was all right.
Just so
it wasn't XD.
So class, you're telling me to drive and pay a toll to go see it at a shitty movie theater. I could just go to the AMC one if I wanted to go to a shitty movie theater.
But if you wanted to see it before 2 weeks and in a theater where there weren't that many people there.
Oh, that's true.
So I mean, and then if you don't like that theater, while you're in Clarksville, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry, buddy.
The Extreme Escape in Jeffersonville should be finished soon.
That dude, and that is right down the road from my house. You get off on that exit, and I live right here, so I am so excited about that fucking theater opening up. When that opens in 2022 or whatever, Doc, I'll take you to go see that fucking new Star Wars movie, whatever that's going to be. So.
Oh yeah, they just put in a hold marker for. And they said it's going to be based upon they say the High Republic is what they call it. I feel like it's the Old Republic, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it's supposed to take place hundreds of years before New Hope and all that. So
all right.
I don't know.
So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Yeah, just start it all over. Fuck it. Like, you know.
well, they're gonna have to.
Let's
start off. And, I mean, you can tell Star Wars stories. I mean, The Mandalorian shows that.
Oh God, that's so good. Yeah,
I want
absolutely.
to see where they built that tree, like where the Jedi started on that planet that Luke was on.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
the Pogs or the Porgs.
No, yeah, I mean they're there, but not a story about them.
Actually, wasn't like that planet that he was on there? That was a Sith planet, and that's why that's why Yoda hid where he hid because it was a Sith planet, and he knew they would never come to find him there.
Right.
Yes.
The planet that Luke was on is the birthplace of the Force.
Ooh.
I have a good. Well, Doc, you won't care for it, but I do have a comic recommendation for while we're talking about Star Wars.
Okay.
The Rise of Kylo Ren. It's a 4-part miniseries. It just came out from Marvel, and it takes place right during that whole fiasco of the whole Luke busting out his lightsaber while Kylo Ren was sleeping or Ben Solo was sleeping or whatever. It takes place immediately after Ben brings the fucking house down on Luke. And Luke and all his kids or his students and all that shit. Like it explains all that.
Did it make the Knights of Ren not look like a bunch of nobodies?
I'm sorry?
I said, did it make the Knights of Ren not look like a bunch of nobodies?
Well,
because
they were off with this guy saying
they were worthless.
My name is Ren.
That's
not my real name, but
these guys were worthless.
So I guess it's going to get into that, and like my understanding or my hope, I guess, was that like when Luke was explaining the story in Last Jedi, the way he was like, he left with a handful of my students or whatever. I thought they would all be like the Knights of Ren would be a bunch of fucking badass Jedis, but they were a bunch of like punk bitches, man. There was like nothing cool to them other than how they looked.
Yeah, that was
right.
it.
So have you seen the scene where one of them would have actually stabbed Rey and they just edited that out?
No.
Oh yeah. They're like they got a lot of heat about it because and I watched it and they're right. If you watch the dude, he was like carrying 2 weapons. So when he comes down, she stops him, and it's like everybody's like, okay, why don't you just stab her with the other one?
Right.
Wait, what,
it's so obvious that they actually like edited
about?
part of it out.
Where is this in? The new movie?
No, the one we're talking about, the Knights of that had the Knights of Ren.
No, that's the new movie. The guys in the red are Knights of Ren. That's Snork's.
Oh, are they not?
No.
Oh no! Those guys weren't Knights of Ren. The Knights of Ren are like these guys. They were basically like Kylo Ren is like the leader of these guys.
And all they did was like he'd be like, go to that planet and find them. And they'd be like, okay, we're here.
But I need to watch this new one already. We were always before this new movie came out, we were always under the assumption that the red guys were the Knights of Ren, and they just made them bitch-ass people.
No. Oh, no. Like, those guys in red actually fought. Like, the Knights of Ren just get their ass handed to them at the very end and do nothing, really. Spoilers.
Another spoiler alert. So
Doc's just going to end up telling me the entire movie before I go.
Yeah, you already know, dude. Like, come on.
You're not...
I'm saying, like, Doc's going to, like, fucking... He's going to print out the goddamn plot, like the...
Well, I will tell you this,
and read it.
They cut a lot of Rose's scenes, and it worked well. I was just like, every time I saw the new Hurley, because that girl got fat in this new movie. like I was like, man, those cheeks are getting bigger and bigger, like she was hiding away nuts or something. And I was just like, I'm tired of seeing her face and hearing her voice. Like, can she just go away? Like, she looked more awkward than Carrie Fisher in this fucking movie did. And that shit, oh. There was a triumph of how they edited her in. No, it's not. It's a piece of shit. Moving on. Oh, I'm supposed to be positive this year, aren't I? Anyway, Kevin Smith also was talking about the Hulu animated series, and he is saying that Howard the Duck is still alive, even though there's major talks of the Tigra and Dazzler show, because nobody wants that. I'm, again, positive. Everybody wants that show.
Female empowerment, Dark. Female empowerment.
I know. Yeah. Okay. But Mordark, which I don't understand how you do a Mordark, and they're doing it like a family comedy, and Hit Monkey, so Howard the Duck seemed to be the only thing that made sense. And he's saying Howard the Duck's still going, still in development. So it's all wait and see. And then Jonathan Kasdan, whose father is what's his father's name? Who worked on the Star Wars movies with Lucas? God, I can't remember the guy's original first name. He is going to be working on Willow series pilot on the Disney Plus.
That's cool.
Yeah, you guys remember Willow? You got
Absolutely.
I know you probably, but I bet like Kennedy and Josh were there too young. It's probably
Yeah, I am too. I remember Willow. That shit was awesome.
Okay. Kennedy?
I know of it.
He's heard word. I hear things. Yeah, I don't know if it holds up. Haven't seen Willow in a very long time. Val Kilmer is he's in good shape. He's not in rose shape, so I'll give him that.
Is that the thing that the girl from Big Bang Theory was in?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
It
You
was,
remember the little person from Leprechaun?
She's talking about Warwick Davis.
Davis or whatever.
Warwick Davis.
He was
Played Wicked.
whatever.
Oh, never mind. That was Blossom. My bad.
Yeah. So yeah,
What?
dude, and Val Kilmer was Mad Mardigan. He was like, dude, he was a badass swordsman, and
Yep.
it was super cool, man. It was, to me, I never got into like Lord of the Rings and shit. This was like way cooler than Lord of the Rings.
And-
But I also watched it when
and-
I was like 10.
Class, do you
So-
know who wrote the trilogy novels for that?
Oh no, I don't have no
it's
idea.
your favorite X-Men writer.
Claremont?
Yep.
Oh really? Well,
Yes.
that makes sense.
So
That
they
makes
don't know if they're
Okay.
going to use Claremont's novels for source material or not. But I mean, if it's there, use it. Kind of like The Witcher.
That's interesting.
Just use it.
I liked it. You said Chris Claremont was my favorite X-Men writer.
Because you said that. Am I incorrect with my assumption of that?
Well, I mean, that's when
I'm
I first
sorry.
started reading.
Now with
X-Men,
Jonathan
like,
Hickman,
he
I'm
was what I
sorry.
read.
So-
So man, that was a lot of fucking reading. Because you
Yeah.
read a Chris Claremont like X-Men, that's a lot of fucking
It's like reading Stan Lee stuff.
Bubbles.
Yeah. That's why I can't read the old stuff. I'm just like, I don't have time for your exposition of everything going on. Like, give me some action sequence. And that's what I told Steranko when I met him. I said, thank God you didn't have to write 3 pages of fucking dialogue to explain what was going on.
That was always my beef with Claremont. But that was I have love for Claremont on X-Men because that's what I got kicked off on. I'm happy that you remember that. That's impressive.
Were you a Hickman now fan? Is that what you're saying?
I do like Hickman. I put him over last show.
You did.
I think with X-Force.
You did. That was your
yeah.
recommended reading from you.
It's good.
Well, the mobile streaming service Quibi is adding more content to it, along with apparently a Steven Spielberg horror series and an ESPN daily sports show for Kennedy. We're getting reboots of Legends of the Hidden Temple, Return of 911, and now Justin Roiland of Rick and Morty fame is going to be creating a stop claymation series from the studios that bring you Robot Chicken called Gloop World.
Cool.
Okay, thanks guys. I appreciate the.
No one cares about Quibi.
It was like it doesn't launch till April 6th, and there's a lot of content coming to it, but I feel like again where we always complain, there's too much streaming, and our dollars are only going to go so much, and ultimately we go look for that copy of Jay and Silent Bob's reboot. So that's what happens.
21st in stores.
What's that?
Jay and Silent Bob reboot
No.
comes out on 21st in store.
It's coming to my computer right now.
How dare you? It's good. It's good, Joshua. If you haven't seen it yet, it's it's
I
typical
went to-
Jay Silent Bob shit. It's fun.
Yeah. I wanted to go see it in the movie theaters, but then like it was playing on a day I couldn't go see it.
Well, it's because they didn't
I couldn't-
release it. They were like, it's going to air this Thursday at 7:00.
Yeah. See,
Right.
and that was my mistake. I was like, oh, it's gonna be 7:00. That's the only time I'm gonna see it. Turns out it was in the movie theaters the whole week, and I just was like, oh, I can't see it because my one day off, I couldn't go see it. It was really weird, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just wait for it to come out, and it came out.
It took a long time to come out. Well, guys, in video game and comic news, at CES, the biggest thing was the PlayStation 5 logo came out, and you know what it looked like?
What's
Somebody deleted the 4 and added a
It
5.
looked like
I saw that.
that was their big. Here's the logo, and the funny thing is, somebody took a picture of all the people holding up their cameras to capture the logo, and they were just like, "It's nothing. What are you guys? What are you doing? Good job, Sony. Good job.
Why is everyone upset about it? I just like it keeps with like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh yeah, the Xbox goes the complete opposite way.
Yeah.
It's the series. What series is it? It's the Xbox series. Well, which one are you getting? I don't know. The Xbox.
Yeah, did you guys see in the chat where the two GameStop employees were talking back and forth to each other?
Yeah, when somebody
about,
walks in wanting to get an Xbox, and they're like, well, which one do you want? Xbox One? Xbox S? The Xbox Series? I just want an Xbox.
Yeah. He's like, I want the X. The Series X? Yes. Or the One X? Yes. What?
Yeah, that's getting a little confusing. And then apparently Dell's working on what they call a Concept UFO, which is a Switch-like portable gaming PC. Not sure if this will ever get released, but it's a PC gamepad powered by Windows 10 that'll play PC games, and you can run around with it like a Switch, like Joshua does with his, and be able to play on the subway.
Yes, that's what I like to do.
If it ever comes
If
out.
the game seems like it has to be played on a fucking console that I can take with me, I will do it. It's like my friend Pedro. I refuse to put it on my Xbox.
It's on my
I'd rather
Xbox.
play-
It's for free
What?
now.
I know it's for free, but I'm like, I want... Oh, wait, on the Switch it's for free?
No, for the Xbox it's for free.
Well, if you have Game Pass, right?
Yeah, you don't have Game Pass?
I do, but I refuse to play it on my fucking...
Okay.
on my
I
Xbox
was
One. I
about
want
to
play
hear
it on
you
my
say,
Switch.
no, I don't have Game Pass. I can't afford it. But you didn't go that way.
Who said that?
I was hoping you would say that.
No. I'm Mr. Moneybags. I'm the new... I took Kennedy's spot. Now I'm Mr. Moneybags again.
Well, Joshua, free up that space on your phone because Hasbro announced the G.I. Joe War on Cobra coming out. A P versus P title where you could either be Cobra or G.I. Joe and having playing the major characters from those 80s cartoons. So that sets up my question. How much would Joshua pay for Zartan? I didn't ask you a damn thing. Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, Alexa. You fuck with him.
So how much would you pay for Zartan?
I really, for a second, I didn't realize that was Alexa. I thought you were talking to your girlfriend like that. I was like, "Damn, Doc, we're about to hear him get his ass whipped live on the podcast."
Yeah, I'm just...
Doc doesn't get his ass whipped. He just calls the cops and tells people on Facebook what the situation.
It's true.
Oh
It's true.
no!
That's been a long time. I posted
That
it.
was- wow. That was, oh my! All right, go ahead. How much would you pay for Zartan?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Joshua?
I don't know how powerful is Zartan.
We don't. I figure he can his identity. He can hide it. So
That's not really anything. Like that's not anything worth paying. Now,
would you
give
pay-
me someone
would you like?
Cobra Commander.
Well, what about Tomas and Zaymot?
I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
Jesus
I'm not a
Christ.
G.I. Joe.
Come
nerd.
on, dude.
Oh man, you see, you mentioned that, Doc, and that immediately like piqued my interest. I would definitely play a G.I. Joe versus Cobra game.
Yeah, you get to
love
pick
G.I.
the
Joe
side that
growing
you
up.
want to play on, and then you unlock characters from the show and take on those nasty Joes.
That's cool. Would it be like? Is it like an RPG type of game?
It
is
looks
it a
like,
Mortal Kombat kind of game?
No, it looks like
a Contra game.
it looks like that. What's the game you played, Kennedy? Missile Strike, or that's what it looks like. It's like looks like a resource building tanks and stuff like that.
Okay.
What the fuck?
What was that game you played that had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it that you spent a lot of money?
Oh, Mobile Strike.
Mobile Strike. Okay, that's what it looks like.
In the App Store.
That's all right, because Kennedy pales in comparison to what Joshua's been
I know.
doing with Marvel Strike Force.
This Kennedy was the Ghost from Christmas Past, and Joshua was like, "Fuck you, I don't care. I want to spend that money." But I warned you, Josh. This is where I led. It led me to a deep, dark place. Don't fucking
You know
care.
what the fucked up thing
I
is?
need
like,
Ultron!
I'm like, as soon as I got Ultron, I was like, I don't care anymore.
Like, you don't want to play anymore?
No, I just was like, I'm like, I literally was like, I have Ultron. How am I going to use him? I don't know. And I was just like, oh well.
But
I
did
don't
you
care.
say, like, sometimes they release these characters that you have to get in case you have to utilize them to unlock other characters?
I mean, I don't need to do that anymore because I really don't care about anybody else. I mean, I got Black Bolt. That was because of my Christmas. Like, I told everybody get me fucking gift cards, and
Oh
I just
my
used that
God.
to get Black Bolt. But
How old are you again?
huh?
How old are you again?
$35.
And you asked for like Marvel bucks in essence, right?
And no, I said iTunes gift cards,
Oh,
which I
iTunes.
transferred
To
to
Marvel
Marvel bucks.
Wow. Okay. Anybody got one of those arcade
Why are you
one-ups?
judging me?
I'm not. I'm being positive. I'm worried about you sometimes.
How do you worry about me? What do I do to make you, besides this whole Marvel Strike Force thing? What else do I do that makes you, Doc Martin worry about me?
Do you hear outside of your house? Sometimes I worry. Like, is Josh alive right now? Like, we even messaged. Remember, like
please. It's the Bronx.
when somebody
You
got
guys fucking sirens all the time.
somebody got shot at the hospital, didn't Class and I both like message you? Like, are you okay? We don't know where you're at and versus the hospital. We want to make sure.
Brass
Right.
did it like twice because he thought there was like another hospital.
Oh my
I was like, oh, what do you think? All Bronx hospitals get shot up all the time?
I mean, it is the Bronx. It's like that's not that far out. It's not like that. Like me thinking like that isn't like that out of the realm of possibility. I'm just saying, right?
No, I just think like it was like my best friend who lives in Kentucky didn't even inquire about this, and I'm like, yo, how is it that like 5 people that just met within the past 3 years call to check up on me, but you don't fucking call me? And he's like, I don't know, man. I know how it is out there. And I'm like, what?
That's it. That's exactly what it is. Like Matt's from there, so like Matt knows what's up. Meanwhile, me and Doc and Kennedy, all these other guys, we're just
like,
like,
we're
we're
No,
all
not
like,
Kennedy.
shit.
It was Brian. It was Doc. It was
Okay.
you.
Yeah,
I
we-
would have called, but I didn't know anything.
And then the best part was because, I was in a relationship with someone from Kentucky, and she's like talking to me. She's like, you're not going to tell me if everything's all right? I'm like, well, you're fucking talking to me via text, so what the fuck's the problem? I just want people to know the Bronx is not a bad place. Right?
we're just concerned about your welfare. That's it. You know what? Next time I hear about a Puerto Rican that gets shot up in the Bronx, I'm gonna be like, fuck it, he's all right.
Yeah, I'm already gonna do. All I'll do is text you and say, "Are you gonna be on the show?" And that's all you have to do.
Yeah,
You're gonna be on the
What's
show.
your number one concern?
If you don't
Nobody's
respond,
concerned about my well-being when the Joker fucking people going on the stairs were getting fucked up. Nobody actually...
I figured that was just way of life over there at that time. Well, also at CES, the Arcade 1-Up. Y'all got any of those? I've got one. I've got the Rampage arcade. I want to get the Mortal Kombat one. They're going to be releasing a NBA Jam cabinet, which will have an online-enabled system where you can play people, either play up to 4 people online or play against additional players. With that, there's also going to be a limited-time Burger Time cabinet, which is going to feature Karate Champ, Bad Dudes, Caveman, Ninja, and I actually have a light-up marquee with the Burger Time, and then a sit-down Star Wars cabinet is going to be coming out.
You know, the cabinets look cool, but in all honesty, it's like I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like I can't imagine paying that much money for a video game like that to have to stand at when it's the same fucking video game, even if there's multiple video games on it. I've never been, like, they look badass, and if I had Joshua money, then I would probably buy
yeah, Joshua
that's
money.
one thing. But like,
Fuck.
for me, I would buy a pinball machine because that's always a different game. So like, I couldn't imagine like, let me fork out $300 fucking bucks for Burger Time.
They're
when like you could get it on Xbox, like the store, for like fucking $4.99 or something.
They're working on
That's silly.
pinball versions of that too, like little mini pinball versions of major games. So you may get that.
I would totally be into that.
And then
I would be into that.
And then if you've ever been to the arcade, little arcade expo, they have the computerized version, which is a monitor that looks like, and then they have the controls as if it's a real base control, which are really cool too. And then you can switch the boards.
Okay. Pinball Effects. It's something that's on
Yes.
Xbox,
Yeah.
and I play that. I
But don't you like
that.
that retro feel? Like, didn't you grow up in arcades?
I did, but like, and it's cool for like a retro. Like, it's cool to go to like Rec Bar, okay?
Yeah.
Like, and I have a good time. But to
Yeah,
fork out
Rec
that,
Bar. I love Rec Bar.
yeah, and like, but to fork out the money for a cabinet.
They're not that expensive.
Well, you know what? You
Like,
mentioned Mortal Kombat.
I could get 2
and
cabinets
I'm currently
for the-
playing Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
I really love it, but I would. I let me correct myself. I would pay for a Mortal Kombat cabinet.
So,
I'd do
class,
that.
I could buy
Yes.
2 of these arcade cabinets for the price of an Ultron, and I would have multiple games to play I don't just
Wait,
play with
so you
those.
mean to tell me one cabinet costs
$250.
two Sinisters?
Yes, 2 Sinisters.
2 Sinisters. Yeah, okay. Or you can buy multiple for, like you said, an Ultron. So,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah,
What's the cabinet you have, Doc?
I have the Rampage, which also has what is the one with the God? What is it called? It's got Rampage and Golden Axe.
Doc.
I think it is. Not Golden Axe. The one with the wizard and the thing, and it's the top down.
Okay.
It's not Golden Axe because that's Sega.
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet. Thank you. But the only weird part.
Yeah.
And it's got 3 controls, which is made primary. Which the Gauntlet should have had 4 controls. But they've got like the turtle ones out. They've got
The turtle one is, I'm totally all right. I totally take back everything I said. I played the turtle one while I was at Walmart. Like I was at Walmart and I saw it, and I was playing, and a dude walked over and was watching. I was like, "Dude, hop in."
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like old school. Yeah, so I take that back. Then I saw that there was like a Marvel vs. Capcom.
There is.
Plus, it had like X-Men
Yep.
and Punisher in there.
Yep.
So I totally take back what I said. I would totally buy these cabinets.
For the cost of Ultron, you get 2 of these stand-up arcade machines.
And it looks badass. But then don't you have to spend another like $50 or $100 to buy like a stand so it's
$30 so it goes up to the normal height that you would stand at, or get a little chair and sit down and sit comfortably.
Yeah. Okay.
I would invest $300 to bring back River Falls Mall if we could do that.
Amen, brother. I miss those days. I do like it. So you know what?
My arcade growing up.
I'm on board, Doc. You sold me.
I
buddy.
figured would. It's just good math. That's all it is. It's good math. All right, and finally, the GLAAD organization has put their nominees for movies and music and all this.
Gay, lesbian, and something.
Yes. So I figured I'd pull the list, and they actually have their list for comic books and video games. And I was just going to go through a list, and for who's read these, if you agree, like, are these good? I guess representation of gay and lesbian and queer and trans and all that. In the comic book world, Avant-Gardes, that's the mouse one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes. Bloom, which I've never heard of. Crowded, never heard. Harley Quinn Breaking Glass. Laura Dean keeps breaking up with me. Lumberjanes, which I've read, that's actually really good. Runaways, which is really good.
One gay couple. I don't understand that.
Let's see.
Why isn't the Young Avengers not on there?
It's not. The Wicked and Divine are on there. And then Star Wars Dr. Aphra. Is that character...
She's bi.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
weird. They don't have the Young Avengers, but they have who did you say they had, Doc?
Runaways?
I mean, that's so stupid. I mean, Hulkling. I mean, he was a Skrull, so maybe that's why. But he was a male Skrull. Right?
No,
They don't have any sex.
didn't. Jesus, I'm trying to think of the characters. The Asian girl and the blonde chick.
I know Nico was a lesbian. No, the blonde chick was a lesbian. Nico
hooks up with her.
Yeah, Nico hooks up with her, but then she was promised to a Skrull.
Yes, but then fell apart, right?
And then because I'm trying to figure out.
But then the blonde chick now has a new girlfriend in the new Runaways.
Well, I don't know. I don't watch the show. So.
No, in the comic books. You just should say I didn't read the comic books.
No, I read the comic books. I read the comic books up until
now. There's a new release.
When we did. Yeah, I didn't read the new releases. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So
but I'm trying to figure out. I'm sorry. I'm a little perturbed that they didn't fucking put the Young Avengers because they made it off the bat that the fucking kid was gay and the Hulkling was gay, and I'm like, why? Like,
well, see, that's what I'm wondering. It's like, when is these comics? Are they things that got released this year? Because I know Lumberjanes, that's been out for a while. Wicked and Divine, I mean, that's wrapping it up. Its series, I think. In video games, they have Apex Legends, Borderlands 3, The Outer Worlds, Overwatch, which again, that game's been out for 2 years, and The Walking Dead, the final season, which I don't no clue what's going on with that. Is Daryl gay in that one?
Probably.
He's probably trans. Feels like
Probably
he'd
Carl.
be I would assume the Harley Quinn one is the one where she gets with Ivy and actually creates a good relationship. But no,
Because she didn't have a good one with Mr. J?
No, not with Mr. J. But everybody wants that relationship.
Don't be that guy, Doc. Don't be that guy.
Nobody wants that relationship. It's horrible. What do you mean? No, they do. They're like, this is the perfect relationship. I was like, have you read the comics? Do you know what that kind of person he is? He's not a good person. She's not a good person around him. Watch the new Harley Quinn show. You can see she's bad. He's bad for her. She's a good force in her life. Kennedy, what do you
She's
think about
much better with Poison Ivy.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's way hotter.
Kennedy, what do you think about the for outstanding video game? What do you think should win for the best representation? Apex Legend, Borderlands 3, The Outer Worlds, Overwatch, and The Walking Dead: The Final Season.
None of them.
Okay, there's Kennedy's vote.
I never played any of these games, so I don't know.
Oh, you haven't? He's played Apex Legend and The Outer Worlds, and he's played a little bit of Overwatch.
Okay, explain. I'm sorry, real quick. Just give me a quick synopsis. Apex Legends is like what? Like it's like a free-for-all Fortnite or something like that?
Yeah, it's 3-on-3. Well, it's like you're
Okay.
working with a group of 3, but then there's a bunch of other people in groups also.
So, okay, does it have a story to it, like a story mode?
No, I don't think so.
So how the fuck would you know if someone's gay or a lesbian or bisexual in that game?
They just create that identity. It's like an Overwatch where they have to. They like said Soldier 76 is gay, and I'm like, did he have to be? Like, why?
Yeah. Like,
Like-
what does a person's sexuality have to do with a game where the sexuality doesn't play a part in it?
What? Yeah, exactly. What difference does that make if, like, it just out of nowhere they throw their guns out and just start sucking each other's dicks or something?
That's
Like that just
my issue when when people say, "Well, we don't feel like we're connected." I'm like, unless their sexuality is some way tied into the story, it doesn't matter.
right. Like the soldiers in any of those games. Like if I'm playing Call of Duty, not one time have I heard those guys saying like, "We just killed the bad guys. Let's go get some pussy." Like
Yeah, exactly.
That's never like. Whether the characters that I'm playing with are gay or straight or whatever, like that's never been part of. Now I'm not talking about the campaign. I'm talking about like straight multiplayer that all these other games are like that, like Overwatch and all this other shit. It makes no fucking sense to like if they want to make them like if that's a defining characteristic. Fine, like whatever. But like,
how do you
what difference does it make?
like
They're
in
not-
a multiplayer game? How is it a defining characteristic? Like, there's nothing that they would be doing in the game that'd be like, oh yeah, they're straight.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they just raped a
Like-
woman.
like Jackass or something shooting dildo guns out at each other or something. Like I don't. It doesn't.
Now, Kennedy,
don't understand
you
it for something
played
like that.
all the Halo series, right?
Yeah, I've
No,
played. some.
I'm talking Kennedy.
Oh,
that?
Kennedy. I'm sorry.
I can't hear what you're saying.
I was saying you've played all the Halo series, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Now, is Master Chief they don't really define him as any kind of
Master
relationship.
Chief is in love with Cortana, so
And that's a digital. That's zeros and ones. We don't know what Cortana is. We never lifted her skirt up.
Has a giant dick.
Yeah, maybe.
giant digital dick, and be like, oh,
So he's in love with an AI, but I mean that's not a straight relationship, right?
yeah. What's that make? Yeah.
Yeah, where's that on the alphabet? Joshua,
make-
you know this.
Some people like to, you know what? Fucking, I don't need to get started on that. Some people like to just fucking bitch for the sake of just having their voice heard. And it's like everyone should just fucking be treated fairly. But at the same time, like, what difference does it fucking make on a multi-person, like, just fucking run and gun kind of game? Like, it's silly.
Well, it was just like in the Star Wars, the new one. Spoilers, Kennedy. Two women
Wait,
kiss.
this one, I didn't want to say anything.
They kiss at the end, and they hold for a second, and it's the big bird nose lady and her flight, which I feel like there is an issue with subordinates there, because I think the pilot is a little bit under. I don't think, like, Kennedy, if you were somebody was a higher position than you're not supposed to have like intimacy connection with them, right? That's frowned upon, right? No, I'm serious. So it's like, why would these two people, when one was a higher officer, the other one was a pilot, they're hooking up, and then It's
Maybe she's not under her command.
but it's still a higher position, right?
Well, at that
Regardless,
point,
like-
they're like, we just fucking we just beat up the bad guys, so we're gonna make out, and we don't give a fuck. So, yeah, I guess it's and like even that, like that was just like that was whatever. That was okay. It didn't have
Right.
everyone's
Two chicks
celebrating. They want to make out, and it's like that's okay. That's fine. I didn't have a problem with that. Like
Also,
you know,
Also,
what difference does it make?
they brought Maze back in, and like in the first movie, like it felt like she had a relationship with Chewbacca. Did it not feel like that?
Oh yeah, she definitely wanted his
But
dick.
then
She-
in the third movie, I don't know if they had a breakup because she didn't.
Wait, somebody like Chewbacca?
Yes, Maze, the one with the weird dimpled eyes and stuff.
yeah,
She's like, "Where's
She
my
had goggle
She
shit,
goes, "Where's
fucking
my
red.
boyfriend?"
She died.
No, she's alive.
No.
She's alive.
Oh, I thought because when they blew up the fucking with the what was it, Star Killer? I thought they blew up the planet she was on with Star Killer. and she
No,
was
no,
on
they
it.
didn't. No, they
but-
blew up Starkiller before they blew up. No, they blew up her little bar, but she was alive because they showed her in the Last Jedi.
Yeah, she was in Last Jedi where she couldn't like help him and like let him down a storyline that made no fucking sense. And just totally
Yeah,
derailed that
I
movie.
totally forgot about this fucking movie because
But
I
see-
could have sworn
but see-
she was on a planet that got blown up.
I feel like
Nah,
everybody
nah, she
kept.
would've. But yeah, she definitely wanted that. She
But then,
wanted that.
but then in
work,
the
man.
most recent movie, it's like she couldn't care. Like, oh, he just lost somebody important to him, and she could have been there. And all she does is show up at the end when they win and like, hey, remember when George Lucas fucked you and didn't give you an award? Well, here's that award. All right, buddy.
prime time for her to like swoop in and be like, "I'll
No,
just sell you
it's
Chewbacca."
the same thing as in the first one when Han dies. Spoiler, Kennedy, and they get out of the Millennium Falcon. And who do you think should hug Leia? Should it be this random little girl, Rey? No, it should be Chewbacca. Chewbacca just walks right by her, and I'm like,
that was
JJ, I think we fucked up here. You just kind of let the big guy who would be the most distraught. I mean, Solo was the person he knew the longest, and they just like, oh, Rey and Leia need this. No, they don't.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams even like he admitted he was like, "Yeah, I fucked up there." Did
Yeah.
you see that interview?
No, but I was just like, when I saw it, I was like, what? No.
Yeah, you know that was something I didn't even like. I caught on like after like the second time I watched it or something. I was like, "Wow, Chewie just fucking like they just like walk right by each other or whatever."
Yeah,
and she consoles like Rey, and I was like, it's kind of weird.
'Cause
And
why
then
would
not that
Rey-
long ago, that was like something that like J.J. Abrams was like, if I can go back and change one thing, like you know, out of everything, that would be.
Yeah,
one
Rey
thing he
had
would
no
have
connection
changed
to him except he handed a gun over to her in his ship, and that was about it. And then how creepy was Lando? I mean, Lando used to be a ladies' man, and he was just like, you don't know where you're from, girl? She's like, no. And he's like, well, let's go find out.
I'm gonna show you.
And I was just like, that's
Yeah.
Show you how
creepy.
you got made by making something
Oh,
with you.
It was so
Yeah, have a
creepy.
little Colt 45.
Oh.
I'm gonna lay this pipe.
It was like Weinstein was all up in him. Oh. Spoilers.
But everyone's saying that like, oh, that's man, fuck it, spoiler. alert. Man, I'm sorry, man. Everyone's saying that that's his dad. That's her dad. But the way it came across was like he was trying to dip into some like
He was dipping into young vagina. Young vagina.
He was
Yeah.
trying to go where no man has gone before.
That girl looked like she'll go anywhere because all he had to do was like, we're gonna go do this. She's like, fucking hey, let's do it.
yeah.
Because it
She
matter
was all
with,
about it.
yeah, because Finn was like, let's
in
do
Solo,
this.
Lando was fucking a robot. So
That's
like,
true. Like, yeah.
spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, it's spoiler. Yep.
Oh, Solo.
All right. Well, that will bring the show to a close. Joshua, what are you watching this week?
I'm rewatching The Witcher.
Are you watching Little Kenny?
I finished.
You actually watched that shit?
I watched like the first 2 episodes and I was just like, I mean, it shows you how they meet everybody, but I think they didn't need to do this.
No.
I mean,
no.
but it's not like, you know. But the last, the new season that just came out, which is basically just 6 more episodes, was fucking fantastic, and I can't wait to watch more. So,
Okay. Well, you got now
And I-
the young versions, animated version of them now, so you got that. To
but it's
look
like
forward to.
it's 2 minutes long. Like it's not. If you watched it, if you're a fan of the show and you like it, that's cool. It's not like I hate it, but it's like
It's
a
not
combination of like what Letterkenny first started as, and them trying to tell the story of how they became friends.
Oh, I got
So
you.
like, he met Daryl. Now he's gonna meet Squirrely Dan in like the last episode, and I was just like, I don't really want to watch this. I'm not in the mood to watch it.
Class, what are you reading?
Like I said, I recommend Rise of Kylo Ren. It's that 4-part miniseries I was talking about. They've also re-released a new book, or relaunched its Star Wars title. I'm on a Star Wars kick right now, and it takes place immediately after Empire. It picks up where they do the whole recap of Luke getting his hand cut off and getting picked up by the Falcon. The art is unbelievable. Let me see. I have the book right here. The art is it's fucking beautiful. Just pick it up. And I can't put over enough. Marvel has these like dollar books. I can't think of what they're called, but DC finally started doing the same thing, and they're just called DC Dollar Comics, where they reprint for $1 old classics. Like you get some. There's a Hush issue. They have Watchmen #1, which I hadn't read before. Swamp Thing, Death of Superman 75. Like they're doing that. So if you want to catch up on some old books that like maybe you hadn't read back in the day, pick up DC Dollar Comics. That's my recommendations.
Cool
story, bro.
Hold on.
All right, Kennedy,
And that's it.
What's up?
what are you playing?
What am I playing?
Yeah, video games. Are you with us today?
Actually,
you okay?
I went a little old school, and I've been playing Vampire,
The Masquerade?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, I downloaded Grand Theft. I never finished that game. I think I should probably try to see if I can actually knock
Yeah,
it out.
me neither. I never finished it either.
So I need to see. Maybe we can.
No, it's not Vampire the Masquerade. It's literally just Vampire, Vampyr.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know what game that is. I saw it. I've been playing the Bloodstain one, basically the female Castlevania game. I don't know if you've seen it, Kennedy.
I have not.
That's pretty cool.
And then what I've been watching is I checked out Dracula. That was made by the BBC on Netflix. And I will tell you this: first episode's actually really good. Second episode's okay, and third one just drops the ball. So if you watch it, you're probably fine just watching the first episode. You're probably fine
How's
watching
the third episode? Like, how do they drop the ball, bro?
it. Just story. Like, I don't want to spoil it, because people are listening. Unlike Star Wars. No, but I don't want to spoil it too much. Like the interaction between the nun and Dracula is really good, and then that kind of goes away, and then he's focused on this one girl who doesn't have a fear of death, and it's all about dying and immortality and mortality, and just really loses its luster. So
a show about an ever-living creature loses its luster by talking about the one thing he's all about. Yeah,
well,
okay,
that's
that
like
makes sense.
he's always searching for this, and he's searching for that love that doesn't care about death or anything, and then it could have been so much better. I don't know if they're going to be making a season 2 out of this. Really didn't feel like they could, but just watch the first and second. Just turn it off after that. That's
All right.
my
Do
suggestion.
opposite of what Doc says.
No.
Don't watch it at all.
Yeah, just watch the third one. There you go. Just watch the third one and form an opinion based upon that. And then I'm reading Donnie Cates' Venom series. I haven't really read all of it through, so I'm about 13, 14 issues in because I got the Marvel Unlimited. So I'm just going through and tearing through that, and I'll probably
Can I borrow that?
No. And then I need to, and then I need to get to Jason Aaron's Thor run and see how that is. Apparently, speaking of Donny Cates, God Country is they've got the script done, so that could be moving forward as a movie. Which if you've never read God Country, you should check it out.
I have not.
That's
I need to.
That's I think Jason Aaron also, isn't it?
Dude, Jason Aaron is one of my favorite. Brian turned me on to him a long time ago with a book called Southern Bastards.
Oh yeah, that's really
Yeah,
good.
that was pretty good. I remember reading that. I wonder, that's still going?
I kind of fell off after like 20 issues.
Well, the problem-
but I did enjoy it. There was also a thing called Men of Wrath that was for like Apex or something. It was like I don't know, an off-brand, only like a 3 or 4 part miniseries, a few years old. But it's fucking some gritty shit, and that introduced me to Jason Aaron, and that dude has just fucking shot off to the moon.
Problem with I felt like with Southern Bastards is the main characters in the book, after the spoilers, pretty much all get eliminated, and then they go to some new characters, and I'm like, I'm not connected to these new characters. I don't give a fuck about these new characters. I'm bored now, and then just kind of stopped reading.
That was my that's exactly the way I felt. You had the one guy who was like had that stick.
Yeah.
He had the sheriff or whatever, or the boss or the coach.
He was the coach, yeah.
And then after like 15 issues, like they're all fucking dead, and they're bringing these new people, and it's I didn't have the emotional connection. Like
the cop's daughter or something shows up, and she's investigating stuff, and I don't know. And then if you also like Donny Cates, oh Jesus, what's the one with the vampires? It's really good. You should read. God, I can't remember what the name of that. I'll get it. I'll post it on our Facebook page of suggestions to read. But that's really good. All right. Well, Josh, what'd you learn this week?
I learned that when you grind really hard and spend some money, you can get that character that's out of reach on your mobile game. Never give up, kids. Never give up.
Kennedy, what did you learn this week?
Not much. Been working. But news on, that front. Lyft may be going out of business within the next 2 years, so that's fun.
Wow, in the next 2 years. So you think you're going to be a Lyft driver in the next fucking 2 years there, Kennedy?
No.
I think you're
who the fuck can't? Like,
you're going back on the road, aren't you?
No, I'll be finished with school in May of 2022.
And then what are you going to do?
I miss Big Truck Kennedy, man.
Hacking
He was the
drones.
man. Trucker Kennedy was the fucking coolest dude. He fucking get tattoos, offered to buy tattoos, buy massive amounts of alcohol, had no fucking kids in the world.
Yep.
Lyft driver Kennedy, he's just like, hey man, it's like, come on man, get it together.
Funny.
He just no-sold you.
Class.
I totally miss being over the road and making that kind of money. That was nice. But you know what's even better?
It's family.
Being
life.
with
My son smile when I come home through the door every night.
Oh.
There you go, my man. There you go.
Class, what'd you learn this week?
I learned that after thinking I don't want stand-up gaming systems, I really, really want stand-up gaming systems. So
I also learned that for the cost of one digital character, I can get 2 stand-up arcade cabinets.
you absolutely could.
And enjoy to play that.
You know what would have been fucked up if I would have never spent any money on that game and I would have just got him for free? You probably still would have made fun of me.
No, you wouldn't have made fun of you because spending money versus spending every minute of your life is 2 different things.
Yeah, which one's worse?
I have no material for the show then.
Made with a Raspberry Pi.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It can do exactly what you were saying.
Yes.
I've
where you
heard
can have
about
all the
those.
games you want.
You can
And
actually
they sell them on eBay.
Yeah, you can hack those and put more games on them and everything
No,
else.
there's no hacking. You can get stand-up systems that are made with Raspberry Pi.
Oh.
Yeah, it comes preloaded, right?
Right, yeah.
I think they charge
Yeah.
And you
more
can
for
add
those,
stuff later on with updates and whatnot, but there's no hacking. You don't have to buy a system and hack it. It's a system built for it.
But
so.
you can still do that with the Arcade One ups.
Yeah, I don't want to pay that much money because it's a lot cheaper for the
Hey,
Raspberry Pi.
it's half of the cost of an Ultron. Just think about that. Hey guys, if you want to see this stuff and more, we're going to be down in Bowling Green, Kentucky this coming February, the 21st through the 23rd? Is it 24th? 21st, I think, is that Friday. We're going to be doing, I think it's the 22nd, we're going to be doing a live Frackin' Nerds like we've done the last 3 years, and special back row hecklers, all game edition, is going to be happening right after the show.
Schedule permitting.
Yeah, that's if
uh,
certain individuals get down there because they don't let just.
You know? Oh, can he see that?
I see that.
I didn't know because you didn't have a Windows.
I see that. Who's writing that? Is that Kennedy right now?
Yeah, that's Kennedy.
Why? What's fuck off, Doc? We're gonna do the show now. I'm bringing the movie game. Now we're gonna be playing that.
What's his background? What is that? Like a Aerith or something? That's like Aerith.
That's my luchador mask.
I'm the man, bro. I could tell all sorts of shit from like thing.
From my luchador mask? What
No, I'm talking about from the background.
Yeah, what's going on with that? What's
Kennedy.
What's that chick in the background there? Now it's like a stormtrooper, and then there's Iron. What is that? Is it Zelda?
Oh, that's Barrett and his daughter.
Yeah. There's the church.
Oh, it's
There's
Baby Yoda, jerking off.
So Kennedy's
Nice.
showing us his desktop right now with all his pictures he's got. But yeah, if you're going to be down at Concave in Bowling Green, we're going to be doing the live edition. Remember, you can follow Frackin' Nerds at Facebook, Twitter, Doc Martin at Doc_Martin, where I get my biggest tweet ever. And then, let's see, Joshua, how can I find more about you?
Well, if you want to
They do.
hear me, if you want to hear me brag about getting Ultron, you can check me out on Twitter at Green Eye Bebop.
Can you post a picture of what it looks like?
What happened?
Can you post a picture of what it looks like?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah, you
I
did.
tagged you in
yeah,
in
you're
class,
right.
and that's
You
when
did.
you.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you made the Chris did the dollar thing, and you put the
Little kid.
in the chat room. You did what did it cost?
Oh, yes.
Thanos, which Kennedy got a fucking kick out of it, which I thought was fucking hilarious. And if you want to see me post pictures and stuff and show you pictures of me when I was a kid, go to Green Eye Bebop on Instagram.
Yeah. Kennedy, how can they find out more about you?
Actually, now on Twitter.
Oh, back at it again.
Yeah.
And if they want
Since
to,
2017, bro.
I'll try the tweeting. But so it's Zenchi89 ZENCHI.
and if you're in the Louisville, Indiana area, you may get him as a Lyft driver. So take that chance. Call a Lyft.
I Lyft and Uber now. I'm doing both.
Oh, so you've got options. So he may be able to come and see you. And Click Class. How can they find out more about you?
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Chris Class, BRH. BRH is for Back Row Hecklers, which you can listen to on Apple iTunes, Spreaker, something else. And like you said, hopefully we're going to get a new job. Well, I am getting a new job. Hopefully with the schedule and all that shit, I'll be able to make it to that concave and having that live show. And we have big plans for games, giveaways, and all kinds of shit. But if I have to work, fuck it.
Yeah,
So.
we won't do the show because you have to do. Because
We'll do a 1 hour Joshua special.
Yeah, because I don't think
That's perfectly fine.
other
It will
people
be
on
taken
your
up,
other
so
people on your
it's all
podcast
good.
wouldn't want me on there, so we wouldn't. They wouldn't.
Of
like
course, no, dude.
We
you guys do a show then. Yeah, you guys do a show. I have games planned and all that, so I'm hoping that I'm off.
I can't
But
do it back
Doc, you
rows.
are absolutely going to be on that on
Yeah,
Back Row
why would you
Hecklers.
not think you were going to be on the back row?
Well,
of
I'm
this
just
podcast?
saying, if it's just Joshua and myself, I don't think that would be a good show.
That would be a
it'd be
great
great.
show.
I haven't watched
be great.
wrestling in forever. Actually, I watched OVW and then put a critique on there without naming their names. And then the funny thing is a number of people contacted me and like, we know, we're trying our best. Will you come back? And I'm just like,
Oh wow!
Gotta give me money. That's how it works.
that's the one thing. I
That's
wouldn't
it.
I wouldn't do this for
Yeah.
free, but
Yeah.
Apparently,
No,
Indiana-
you would absolutely be on. Shit.
Indiana wrestling's having a bad week from what I've been reading on Twitter. So
Oh man, what a bunch of scumbags! Jesus. That's yeah.
it's really weird. It's Indiana, it's New York too, and I guess Philadelphia. I guess all having bad days with wrestling people from that part.
It's yeah. I mean there's no excuse for that shit. And if you want to hear more on what we're talking about, tune in to Back Row Hecklers this Sunday.
That's right, class. Thank you. That's what. That's why we're a team. I set it up. You knock them down.
all right, guys, it is getting late. My microphone still sounds like shit. So for Joshua all the way on the East Coast, What's that?
Yeah, bye. I gotta play Marvel Strike Force.
You do. You got to utilize that Ultron. Kennedy in class over in Indiana. This is Doc Martin saying, have a frackin' good week.